Hello, today I'm going over food web labeling and identification, visualizing vocabulary. It talks about the difference between food webs and food chains and goes into detail here about food webs. Just as a simple reminder, food chains, they're like a straight line, okay? It goes from one thing to the next, and back around. And they show a very simple form of how energy and matter move through the environment. Food webs are much more complex. They're more realistic because organisms often eat many different types of things, many different types of creatures. So there's more connections in a food web. What you're doing down here is you want to look at these. There's two parts. The first part is label the following page. So this is our image on the next page, a food web in the Arctic. It says label the following: apex predators, producers, primary consumers. Well, our apex predators are the ones that don't get eaten by anything, okay? So these are the ones that have, in this particular diagram, they don't have any arrows pointing away from them. So killer whale is a good example. The arrows pointing to the killer whale are all the things that it eats. If you had an arrow pointing away from the killer whale, like the seal has an arrow pointing away, that means the seal gets eaten by the killer whale. But since nothing eats that killer whale, it's an apex predator. So you want to write in apex predator. And that's going to be tough. Maybe a pen, or even off to the side, you could write in apex predator and point over to it, just so I can see that you're following along. Producers, so producers are the ones that take energy from the sun and turn it into internal food. So these are your plants and stuff, plankton, things like that. And then the other thing that you're trying to find is primary consumers. So primary consumers are your herbivores. A primary consumer eats just plant material, okay? So find the primary consumers here, the ones that are only eating plant material, the producers, okay? And then down here, you're gonna fill in this data table, and we have all the different organisms that we see in this image, and then you see eaten by pathways. So we're gonna count up how many different pathways go from the organism. So we're counting how many different things eat that organism. Now, if you look at Arctic cod right here, there's several arrows going to and from it. Well, the arrows to mean the Arctic cod eats these things, this fauna here, or the Arctic cod has another arrow going to it, like this one, so it eats those. But we want to count up how many are going away. So Arctic cod are eaten by seals, narwhals, seabirds. So 1, 2, 3 are going away from it. So we're just writing 3. And then there's some unusual ones, because humans are part of this, and I have humans over here. But you'll notice that for the humans, everything goes towards the humans here. So the humans are eating these different things, but there's no arrows going away from them because they're not being eaten on a regular basis by anything else in here. So since there's no arrows away, I just put 0. And you're gonna do that for the rest of these, just getting more familiar with the connections that we find inside of food webs. All right, thank you very much.